And we're live. Welcome back. You're watching Dallas Cowboys Uncensored. I'm your co-host, Eric Berger, like the sandwich. With me, as always, the one and only People's Champ, Mr. Run the Damn Ball, Charlie Moffitt. How you doing, man?
Oh, holy shit. Pretty good. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Let's kick this off. First time live, so anybody who wants to jump in, post your comments. Let us know what you want to talk about. We've got a few things we wanted to hit, but all comments are welcome, obviously. Let's start it off with clearing up a few things with free agency. Some of your names there. I know you wanted to talk about the safeties. KZ and Neal. I'll bring up their contract information here. Let's start with KZ. What are your initial thoughts there?
I favored Hooker a little bit.
I did too.
But like I said in the group, I favored Hooker, but both would be fine. I was happy with it, especially for less than $1 million cap hit. I'll take that every day.
Is that a starter contract?
No.
It sure isn't. I don't know.
No.
I've seen on Twitter a lot of people that are scared of that contract.
No, I mean, so it's a 1-year deal. I mean, we could literally cut him and only have $387. Yeah, $387,000 of dead money and save $600,000. Damn, want to say millions because I'm used to saying millions. $600,000 of save cap space. So yeah, I don't understand why people were freaking out about that contract. Or it's a 1-year deal.
Same thing with Neal.
Yeah, Neal was $2 million.
Yeah, there we go.
$2 million cap hit. You can't really, you don't want to cut him. You actually lose $1 million of cap space. But I don't foresee us wanting to cut him. I'm not worried about that.
That's a great linebacker contract.
Yeah, it's a 1-year deal with 2 voidage years, and I mean, you just kind of, yeah, they have both good contracts, and I think they're both improvement in the team.
Yeah.
The more Neal plays weak side linebacker, the better off we are.
Yeah. And so the rumors of KJ Wright coming here, I know Fish is trying to push that.
Yeah.
Let's say KJ Wright does come into the situation. What does that do with Jalen? Who are your 3 starting linebackers? It's so weird, right? It's so weird.
That's the thing. I mean, who sets? I mean, you have KJ, you have Leighton. You'd have Neal, and you'd have Jalen. So I don't know who sits. I mean, do you move? Does that mean Neal would take more snaps at strong safety, and the other 3 would be your start linebackers? And on nickels, you'll take Jalen out, bring in a cornerback like you always do, then move KJ out or Leighton out, and move Neal back to linebacker on this situation. I don't know.
How often are we in the nickel? It's over like 60%, right?
67% of the time. So every team's different. Us, I can't remember. I shouldn't remember that, but we're in sub packages more than we are base. So
I'd like to see Neal full-time will linebacker, KJ and Jalen, I guess, switching out time at Sam, or maybe even KJ. Can he play in the middle? I know Wagner was the guy there in Seattle, right? But I think his biggest knock is coverage. I mean, he's a linebacker.
That's his biggest knock, but he's not horrible at it.
He's not terrible.
He's better than anybody we have on our team. That's my fucking point. When people's like, well, he can't cover. Well, he can cover better than Jalen, and he can cover better than LVE. I mean, technically speaking, I can cover better than LVE because I can at least be on the field. You know, so yeah, no, he's better than anyone we have on our team right now, as far as linebackers go. No, except maybe Neal, since they're going to move him to weak. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Wagner would work out. I would have to. I don't know. That's why it makes me think that's not going to happen. I don't know if, but I mean, looks like there's some heat behind it. We'll have to see. It'd be interesting. I think all these free agent signings are going to be interesting. It's going to be hopefully this COVID stuff will end and we'll get to have a full off season. But it'll be interesting position battles, who's getting playing time, during training camp and preseasons and stuff.
Yeah.
I like the Urban signing. I know a lot of people get their fat 350-pound defensive tackle they wanted, but they got a good defensive tackle. He's good against the run. There's his numbers against the run. It's PFF grades if you're into PFF grades.
A lot of analytics fans out there. A lot of people run PFF through the ringer, but
well, even non-analytic fans like PFF. They go off their grades. Well, they go off their grades when it fits their narrative. And if the player they like got good grades, then they're going to use PFF. If he doesn't, they're going to say PFF sucks.
Yeah, everything I've seen from this guy, it's all motor, and he's a great guy. He seems like a cool dude to be around.
That was a solid signing. At this point of free agency, it's not necessarily like great things. A lot of them just good, solid signings that, I think they'll contribute,
I think they're having a better free agency this year than last.
Well, last year was horrible. That was horrible. I mean, it wasn't them. I mean, I said it last show. I wasn't even happy. It was like, this ain't hindsight. I wasn't happy with them signings last year. Everybody got all happy about Poe and McCoy, because, hey, we finally got a fat dude. Man, that fat dude was part of the worst run defense in the NFL the year before. So and McCoy was right beside him at the other defense tackle spot. So I never understood why people were so happy about them signings. I was more happy with McCoy because of his pass rushing ability. I thought maybe if he could get some fountain of youth back on that, find a little bit of that he could help us in the pass rush. And Poe was just god awful. I never seen the big man get that dominated. I mean, just get pushed around. Like, and it wasn't even double team sometimes. Sometimes it was just single. A guard or a center just dominated him.
Yeah.
He was bad. He was real bad.
So now that Smith has been informed that he's not in the plans, Alden, what are your secondary thoughts on Basham? Is he depth for D-Law like we thought, or is he,
No, he's definitely depth. Because look,
for the right side.
No, it's going to be Gregory and D-Law.
Okay.
Because I think Gregory, like I said, over the past years, I've bitched about him and stuff like that, but now that he can smoke all the weed he wants, he'll be fine, and he'll stay on the field. And I think I liked the pick. I liked what he could do. He kept getting suspended, and it's just, hell, for 2015 to last year, he didn't hardly even play much.
I feel like he's been around forever. It's just we never get to see him play.
Yeah, I know, but he came on last year. I was impressed with him last year. And not just against the pass. He did good against the run too. I was happy with him overall. Yeah. And I think he'll get better. I think he'll improve. I think he'll get more snaps.
Yeah, more seat time, more reps. That'll get him going. He needs it. I think he came in. God, when he came onto the field, I mean, he just looked like a monster, bigger than I'd ever seen him before. Looked like the best shape.
He's fucking definitely bigger than we drafted because he was like 235, 240. I mean, he wasn't big at all when we drafted him.
Yeah,
but yeah, no. Like I said, weed is he can smoke all the weed he wants now, so he should be happy and should be doing good.
Are you concerned?
And by the way, everybody, I am very pro weed, so I'm not making fun of him. 100%. I support weed 100%. I'll just put it to you that way.
Do you have any concerns? Are they addressing edge in the draft, do you think?
Eventually, yeah.
And how high?
Our luck, 10th pick.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just saying no. That I would lose my shit if they did that. Maybe second, but I don't even think second. Maybe third. I don't know. That's what's up, Corey. That's the one that saw our little live stuff yesterday.
Where's he at? Yeah, sorry.
What did you just say?
I have some friends that are Cowboys fans. I mean, Texans fans.
Jesus Christ, and you invited them in here?
I'm sorry.
Good Lord, dude. Putting that shit on my damn podcast, Texans shit.
What up, Corey? Appreciate the support, man.
Yeah, whatever, Cowboys. Dude. I thought I liked you.
That's funny.
No, I have Texan friends too.
Hey, we're in Houston. You can't.
Yeah,
you can't
nobody. Nobody's perfect. I'll forgive them.
All right. Well, then, shit. That's just take us right into the draft. Then, I think that covers. I mean, we covered a lot of the signings in last episode, so we don't really have to spend too much time.
Well, the last episode we had a lot of signings. That's why
yeah,
we're kind of late to the party on this again. And sorry about that. I had to upgrade my upload speed. I live in a little small town, so my upload speed wasn't strong enough to go live. So I was going to pre-record again. Then I found a company that would upgrade my speed. So we did that and waited to go live. But yeah, so we missed out on. Well, we didn't miss out, but we missed out on talking about it.
Yeah, shout out to Homegirl. Hooked it up.
Yes.
What's the provider?
Vive.
Okay.
Vive. Yes.
If you're in Crockett, Texas.
Your town, yes. If they're in your town, hook them up.
Yeah.
Because they did me good. $14 only cost me $14 more, and it got a shitload of more upload speed.
Okay, let's go. Let's talk draft. 10 spot. Mm-hmm. Look, we all know we want Pitts, right? We're offensive guys.
Yes.
Pitts. If he's there, he's the pick.
Well, he should be the pick. I'm not going to say I'm not predicting he will be the pick.
I've heard several people say the draft starts at 4. So we've already locked in 3 quarterbacks. Consensus, right? Everybody thinks Jags are taking Trevor, maybe even Wilson. It's going 1-2, Wilson, Trevor, whichever order you pick, whatever. And then after that, Niners moved up to 3, take the Dolphins spot. They're grabbing a quarterback. A lot of people are saying Mac Jones. I think that would be a mistake on their part, but Shanahan's a guru. I can't really knock him for whatever the hell he selects. But Fields, Lance, or Jones could possibly go at 3. And that leaves Atlanta at 4. Who did they? I don't think they've extended Matt Ryan, have they?
No.
I think he might just be a bridge guy. They might take quarterback, or they could trade back.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about the other day. I mean, Atlanta could take a quarterback.
Carolina, Denver.
Denver, definitely them two for sure.
If they don't trade up with Atlanta.
Yeah, even Detroit. I mean, I don't think Goff is their future. I think they just took that contract on because they got good draft picks out of it.
Needed a bridge.
Yeah, so I mean, they can make they could do something crazy. But yeah, now with San Francisco trading up, I don't think there's any way 5 quarterbacks doesn't go. I think there's going to be 5 that goes.
You're locking in 5.
Yes. I mean, because you got 3 locked in the first 3 picks.
Yeah.
And I think San Francisco trading up is going to make Carolina and Denver say, "Oh shit,
we got to go get one."
You know, we got to do something." So yeah, I think there'll be 5 taken before our pick. I think by the 9th pick there'll be 5 taken.
So 5 quarterbacks.
Now it could help if one doesn't go and they're sitting on the board at 10.
Yeah.
That
we get a phone call.
that
we
could
have another
you know.
option.
But I can't. But see, that's the thing. I can't imagine Carolina and Denver passing on a quarterback. I mean, they don't. Neither one of them have one.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't see how there's any way that 5 does not go before we pick, which is fucking beautiful for us.
Unless Denver thinks Drew Lock is the guy.
No, they don't. No.
We can't.
No, that would be no.
Vic's in the car listening. What's up, Vic? Shout out to Vic.
In the car listening.
So
in the car listening.
Is that what he said? Come on,
Yeah.
bro. Come on.
Look like my goddamn grammar.
Don't text and drive. So 5 quarterbacks. Top
Yeah, I
9.
think so.
That leaves 4 spots with 2 tackles, 3 wide receivers, possibly 2 cornerbacks, and Pitts.
In
For
Pitts.
those 4 picks, we're getting a guy we want.
We're getting a guy we want. That's what I look. I'm on a Pitts train, and I'm going to be pissed for about 30 minutes if we don't take him if he's there. But any of them guys, I'm not going to be upset about. I won't be upset about Horn. I won't be upset about Surtain, Slater, Sewell, and damn sure won't be upset about Waddle, Chase.
No,
I won't be upset about
if
them.
Pitts is there and we don't select him, and
And Philly gets him.
Philly dropped back from the 6th spot to the 12th spot and still gets the weapon that they, been trying.
That's
to get
why
forever.
I said 30 minutes because I'm going to be pissed for 30 minutes. But if Philly takes him, I'm going to be pissed for about 30 years.
30 years at least.
Yes,
That's Randy Moss 2.0.
That's going to upset me because I don't want to face
And I'm
that
not
dude twice a
projecting
year.
him to be Randy Moss. I'm just saying, as a prospect, it's the same thing. We're going to take a reach where we could have had a, perennial Pro Bowler, All Pro,
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Like I said,
type
we're going to get a good player. That's for sure. It's just which good player it is going to be.
Are you
Hopefully it's gonna be-
Are you a tackle over? Let's say Slater's. Are you particular on any tackle?
I'm tackle. I'm tackle over cornerback. I'm
Tackle over.
any receiver, tackle, or Pitts over either one of the cornerbacks. Surtain or Horn. I like them. I just don't like them at 10.
Yeah. See, I'm Pitts over everything, and here's why.
You know?
So
oh no, I'm Pitts over everything.
pick
I'm
at
just saying that
44. There's going to be tackles. There's going to be corners.
Cornerbacks,
Asante Samuel. The difference between CB1 and CB5, it's not a huge drop off. It's a difference of 30, 40 spots, picks, but it's not a big drop off in the prospect, in my opinion. And most people on Twitter, all the film guys, all these super in-depth film watchers, they all agree.
yeah, ones that know more about it than we do.
Right. They've done the work. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like
No, yeah,
I've
no,
done it.
like John Owning, Vaughn, Mosier,
Yeah.
Connor
JC.
from Blogging the Boys. Yeah, that's the guys. Since I got out of the draft in 2016 because of the accident and stuff, that's the ones I watch now and I pay attention to.
Sure.
And don't mean I don't have my own opinion, but they sway my opinions. They can easily sway them. Because they put in a lot more work than I do on this stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
And we also have 10 picks. You know me. I'm not a trade up guy. I've never been a trade up guy. I'm a trade back guy. Collect picks. But if one drops, if somebody's dropping, and they value them, you can always package it up a couple picks and move up and grab them. Move back up earlier in the second round or later in the first round.
Oh, I'm definitely pro getting back up into the first or second. And
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm always going to be neutral on the move up, on the trade up, until I see the player do good. Because once you trade up, you're not giving up you're giving up two picks for that player at least. So that player has to work out. I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on that pick working out, because that's instead of having 2 players, now you're only going to get 1. So, the Dez trade up, I was all for that. I liked it. Didn't have a problem with it. The trade up for Mo, did not like that trade up. Thought it was a horrible trade up. Turned out to be a horrible trade up. D-Law, I was neutral on that. I'm like, I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. And then that's turned out well. I mean, I wouldn't put great on it, but it's turned out good. So yeah, I mean, you can do it. It's just they got to work. You just, because if they bust, you just gave up 2 picks. You gave up 2 players. You could have 2 other players, and you got 1 for 2, and now he sucks. Yeah. But no, I have no problem, especially when you got 10. You got a little bit of wiggle room there, because you can give up another pick and still have, 8 picks left. So I wouldn't be totally against it.
What if would you trade up for Pitts? A couple spots?
No. I don't love him that much. I think
I would. 10 picks.
Well,
How much is it going to cost?
I mean,
a third?
You'd have to give me that. I don't have the draft chart.
We've got 2 threes.
Yeah, I don't have the draft chart memorized. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, me either.
What?
It's not much. A third round pick, maybe a 4th.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. What would it cost us to move up a couple picks? I don't know, but maybe, possibly, but I doubt it.
I don't think they will either.
Yeah, I don't.
Unless he's just so far on their board. So if they've got him at like 2 or 3 on their board, because I can't see them having Surtain.
Well, they have CeeDee Lamb 6th on their board last year.
6th. Yep.
And they didn't trade up for him. They sat there and waited.
He wasn't supposed to fall either. We were going to trade up.
Well, I think what it was, I think they was happy if he fell, they was going to take him, but they wasn't going to trade up, because if they didn't, they knew who they was taking. They was comfortable with who they take too.
Chase on.
Well, I heard Chase, but I also heard Diggs was going to be their pick too.
At one,
that Diggs, they had Diggs as a 1st round pick.
Holy
yeah,
smokes, cool. I guess.
And that's no inside information. That's just I've seen people who know more about it than I do talk about it. I don't have no source.
We had a few picks like that where they were, we had them projected 1 or 2 rounds higher, and took them way later than we were thinking we would be able to.
Yeah, but the fact that Diggs fell to where that surprised me that he was there for us to pick him. I mean, I thought he was definitely going to be a 1st rounder.
Yeah.
And if somebody told me he wasn't going to go 1st round, he's going to go 2nd, I would assume top 4 or 5 picks in the 2nd round. I wouldn't expect him to fall where he did.
Right.
And I liked the pick. I liked him last year. I mean, he got toasted a few times, but fuck, he's a rookie.
And he was CB1.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, on a bad defense. So, no, I thought he played well last year. I mean, he showed a lot of promise. If he'll grow, I think he will. He'll be even better this year.
We got Alex on YouTube not going up for Pitts. Yeah, we've had this discussion several times. I'll take him at 10, but too many good options to give up picks. I hear you. We have a ton of picks. 2 threes.
Since Alex don't want to do it, now I want to do it.
Yeah, now we're going to do it. I'm sending this to Jerry. Appreciate you having on, Alex. How about this? What if Farley falls to 44? Is he an option on your board? You don't want him at all.
He's all, yeah. And people would disagree with me. Didn't he just run a 40 yesterday?
I didn't get a chance to see it.
Did I see that? Either way, it doesn't really matter. No, he's back issue dudes. I don't want him. I'm just not going to.
Completely out on him.
Yeah. He's not completely off, but first 2-3 rounds, no.
It seems like
he's not going to drop that far. I mean, hell, Jalen was taken in the 2nd with a nerve damage that could end his career. So he'll be taken. He'll be taken in the 1st or the 2nd. So, I'm just saying I don't want to. I don't want no part of him. Once you have back issues, that shit don't end. I mean, we've seen it 2 times on our own team.
Tony Romo.
We've seen Tyron Smith. Mm-hmm. Shit started off with back spasms, Now he's having I mean, and I'm not going to compare my back because people are going to say, well, you're a fat ass. They're world-class athletes. Great. But just look at other world-class athletes that have back issues. They just don't stop. Once they start, it's not going to end. So, no. And I was already kind of on the fence with him anyways, just because of lack of film, lack of, just 2 years at cornerback.
Yeah, too many red flags.
I mean, his ceiling was high. I mean, if he could ever hit that, but I was already on the fence with him. And now that he had a back issue, I don't want nothing to do with him.
Corey on Facebook
I've seen a few people say that same thing Corey just said, that they think the Bengals will take Pitts.
But here's my thing on that.
Well, go ahead.
Burrow's been on the fucking table stomping his ass off for Chase. LSU wide receiver.
I didn't think about that.
I think they're going to take him. And if you're on the Pitts train like me and Charlie, you're focusing on Miami because they traded back up into the top 10. It's got to be for Pitts. It could be for tackle. It could be for another wide receiver. But yeah, I think I'm not scared about the Bengals taking Pitts. I think they take Chase. They're wanting that continuity with the quarterback.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I know a lot of people saying there's no way they take because of they need to protect him, and I agree. But there's some more offense tackles in this and guards. I mean, they're
again deep.
Yeah,
deep.
That's what I'm saying. They can still help the O line later in the draft.
Leatherwood should be there.
You get a Pitts or a Waddle. That's going to help him tremendously. I mean, there's nothing better than a quarterback to have a weapon like Pitts or Waddle. So I can see it. I can see him take. I didn't ever think about the Waddle connection. I mean, not Waddle, the Chase.
Yeah.
I kept saying Waddle. In my mind, I was thinking Waddle.
I forget.
Yeah, I never thought about the Chase connection with LSU. But yeah, I could see that.
Sports Illustrated, maybe. I forget where I read something or saw something where Burrow's been in that front office and with the coaches talking about go get this kid. So it makes sense. It makes sense to me.
It does. I never even thought about that until you just mentioned it. But yeah, no, I could see that happening. That makes it better for us too.
Corey says true since they shipped off AJ. Yeah. Corey says true since they shipped off AJ. Burrow would love his LSU boy. Yeah, I wouldn't compare the two. I think AJ's washed. I think he's I don't know. He had a fucking rolled ankle for 3 years or whatever. I'm obviously exaggerating a bit, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if AJ is the same caliber. Just an older, he's probably 2 or 3. Where did he go? Arizona, something like that. He's wide receiver 3 out there. You've got D-Hop, Isabella. Who's the other cat they got out there? Is Larry still playing? Arizona.
He's free agent.
Okay. So they haven't brought him back.
I saw the day. He hasn't
decided he's coming back.
Yeah, I saw a few days ago somebody talking about him going to Tampa Bay.
Oh, go get your ring, Larry.
I wouldn't blame him.
Man.
I mean, he'd been in that shit organization his whole career. I wouldn't mind if he chased a ring, which I don't ever mind if any player chases a ring, but yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting. He'd be wide receiver, what, 3, 4?
Team? He's deep. It's not the same.
But he would definitely help. I mean,
yeah, sure.
Having a veteran like that in there,
if he's available. And he's soft tissue, ankle surgery, foot. It's been a nightmare for him. And I'm sure there's some other behind the scenes stuff. There was some contract stuff there too. So he was probably sitting on an injury when he wasn't hurt, but whatever. That's no here or there. So let's get to I got a question for you. You brought it up a couple of times. So LP's been with the Cowboys, 20 years or whatever it was. And now they bring in this guy, McQuaid, who's, by all means, he's Pro Bowler, just as good. These guys don't really switch teams a whole lot. They're usually pretty cheap, and their special teams guy wants to keep them, especially if they're good. So he's back with his coach now. I think they got the whole group now, right? Everything from the Rams we've got on special teams. Kicker, punter. I don't know about the punter.
Well,
but
the punter's his guy. It wasn't from the Browns, but that's
okay.
He brought him in, so that's his guy now. Marcus D. Jones.
Hey, appreciate you, bud.
Bluff City Cowboys.
Yeah, what's funny, man, is the overlay for this is the overlay for the Zoom meeting. I got to, it takes me 20 hours to create some little stupid graphic. So, yeah, it's the best we could do. We're getting better. We're not good yet. We're getting better.
That's another thing people that got to realize. We ain't up on the tech shit. We're still learning all this shit. We did it, 2-3 practice runs on this live shit.
I thought about posting my fax number if you wanted to get with me. Appreciate
Thanks
that.
for your support, Marcus.
It should be coming on here soon, hopefully.
Or us on you.
Yeah.
Something. I want to get with
some
him.
draft stuff going.
Him and Lambo.
Comes around. Yeah, Lambo too. That kid's got bars, man.
Have you seen his YouTube page?
I think he showed it on. He showed a video. I haven't been to the page now, but he
wears like a mullet wig and stuff.
That's
funny.
Great. I gotta check it out. What else, man? Where we go for here? Okay, how about Gallup? So let's clear that up. Before our last episode, we had a couple opinions that were, get rid of them, especially if we draft a weapon at 10. No reason to get them. Let's get something before we can. Kind of comparing it to a Byron Jones situation where we only got a third-round comp pick. Let's get something more for him. And we're kind of changing our minds on that, right? Because for a few reasons. One, you're not going to get anything better than a second at most in this quarterback and this wide receiver market, right? Because you got AJ signed it for pennies. You got who was it up in New York? They're not getting great money. My point, or the market's not great for wide receiver. The draft is loaded. You can get a guy.
The cap went down. That hurt too. That hurt a lot. That hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it was going to wipe out the middle class. You was going to have the rich. I don't mean it. That sounds horrible. But you're going to have the high price players. You're going to have rookies, and a lot of vet minimum guys. 2 to 3 million on 1 year deals, and that's what we're getting this year. It's just it's that cap dropping. Kind of
look at the safety market.
I know everything kind of went down. It just the whole market got killed, except quarterbacks. That market will never get killed. That shit will always be there. But yeah, first trade Gallup goes. And first, I agree with Marcus. This shit ain't easy. Just want to point that out before I go on to the Gallup thing. And yes, whenever we're ready, we'll get together here in a couple weeks. First Gallup trade, man. When this first started, I was all for. You're dumb if you don't trade Gallup. You don't let him walk for a third-round comp pick. But one little simple tweet by John Williams, I think that's his name. I might be wrong on that. Made me look at it different. There it is. Gallup was really good, but I'd rather have what he can do on the roster in 2021 than trade him for another team while we wait to use his draft pick 2022. Now, he's assuming it's going to be a 22 pick. Some people are talking about trading him today. Not today, but this year before. But even then, even if it's a 2021 pick, it's a projection. Yeah. And I'm all for keeping Gallup and letting him walk for a third-round pick now, comp pick. And there's some people who don't think we can get a second. I assume that was kind of like a foregone conclusion that, we'll get a second. But there's people who are smarter than I am about this, and they don't think we can get a second. And if we can't get a second, then there ain't no damn way. There's no reason to trade him. I'd rather run it back with Gallup. Mm-hmm. I'd rather run it back with Gallup, Cooper, Lamb, Wilson, and Brown than lose him for a second-round pick or third, whatever somebody thinks we can get, that we don't even have no clue what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a 2022 pick, and we have to wait a year for it. So, I'm all for keeping Gallup, running it back. And some people think, well, if you get Pitts, you got to trade him. No, you don't. You don't have to trade him just because you get Pitts. Yes, there's only one ball. But, dude, like I was telling you today, can you imagine? I mean, who's going to cover who?
covering.
You want to cut? You want to double team Cooper? Go ahead. Then put your third and fourth best ones and fifth on fucking Pitts and Gallup and Lamb.
Cooper, Lamb, Gallup, Pitts, Tony, Pollard.
Yeah.
And,
that's what I'm saying. That's
Zeke.
No, so if you trade, yes, there's only one ball to go around. I get that, but that's a lot of people.
Also, what if a Coop goes down? What if he has another ankle or
that's why
something like that? And
you've talked about this many times. I'm not predicting that. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If one goes down, I'm not predicting that, but you even added more depth.
Yeah.
And at the end of the year, then you can decide what you want to do. You can decide what Cooper looks like and his contract and what Gallup. I think Gallup's going to demand 13 to 15 million somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's where I put 15. I think it was the market. I looked up a couple guys in the same.
There's options,
same range.
But wait for them options. Wait till 2020. Let's run it back with them. And like I said, if we get Pitts, I'm still keep Gallup. Keep running them out there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Where do we go from here?
But
hey, Vic's got a.
But yeah, no, it just makes me think more and more. Like, I mean, if you line up, I mean, damn, think about that. That's like 4 wide, just Pitts, Cooper, Lamb, and Gallup.
Imagine
if you single covers them. If you force them to single coverage, you're gonna have like a fucking linebacker on Pitts, or a safety, or quarterback 4 or 5. I'm taking that shit every day.
Every day.
Or even Lamb. Lamb's going to have quarterback 2, quarterback 3. Gallup's going to have 2 or 3 on him. And if you double Cooper, that's fine. You're going to single up them other 3 guys. Jesus Christ! And we're not even talking about Jarman, that you can run 12 personnel, 2 tight end sets out there too. I mean, it's just Jesus Christ.
People want to say Pitts can't block. Go watch 2020 tape. That motherfucker blocked his ass off.
Marcus Mosher said it best. He loses slow.
Yeah.
Meaning when he blocks, he loses block, but it's slow. I mean, in other words, it's good enough. It's not he doesn't get dominated. Go back and watch.
Big enough.
For the younger ones that don't remember Jay Novacek and watch him play, you can watch the NFC documentary on the NFC Championship game '92. And Aitman says it talks about
VHS.
Novacek was never out there to block, but he was tall, lanky, and he could do a good enough job to where they could run the ball when he was on the field. They didn't have to take him off the field. And that's how Pitts, I think, would be. He ain't going to be a dominating blocker. He's not going to be, everybody's hero, Jason Witten. But you can run the ball when he's on the field. He's not so bad that it's like, well, we can't run the ball when he's on the field.
Take everybody out of the box anyways. I don't care about a blocking tight end.
That's what I'm saying. Who the hell says he's going to block? That's what I'm saying. Who says he's going to block? He's going to be in line. Hell, split him out on the X, split him out in the slot. I don't care. Just draft that motherfucker. That's what I'm saying.
Vic says, where is Pitts on your overall big board? How many players in this draft do you have rated over him? Since we signed Dak, I've got nobody over him. That's to me. He's number 1.
On my big board, like on the college?
Yeah, he's got – where are you ranking him at?
Normally I would write all this stuff down back when I used to do this. But just right off the top of my head, probably 3rd or 4th.
With who?
Right off the top of my head. Quarterbacks, there'll be at least 2 quarterbacks ahead of them.
Only because of their value, not because they're a better player.
Yeah, because, yeah.
I think Pitts is the best prospect.
I mean, first, if you just go grade-wise, maybe – I don't know. I'm not big on Lawrence. I'm not saying he's going to be a bust. I'm not predicting that, as anybody watching this that follows me knows I absolutely suck at judging quarterbacks coming out of college.
Everybody
There was a day about, 7 years ago that I said we was going to rue the day that we didn't draft Johnny Manziel. So that just shows you how bad I am at judging quarterbacks coming out of college.
God,
so I want to get that shit straight. And I don't mind making fun of myself. People who know me, I'll have no problem making fun of myself. And I make fun of myself all the time with that. But I'm not big on Lawrence. I mean, I think he's probably 2nd best quarterback in this draft. But I know supposedly he has the highest graded player quarterback since Andrew Luck. I wouldn't put him up there.
I don't see it. I think Wilson's probably better.
I mean, he has pretty hair.
Yeah, he's pretty guy.
He has freaking beautiful hair. That's how mine used to be when I actually had hair. When I was 19 years old. But yeah, no, he's all right. I mean, I think he'll be a good quarterback.
Okay,
Wilson,
Vic
Lawrence,
says
Sewell.
He's got him 4.
Yeah, that's why. I had him 3 or 4. I wouldn't have a problem putting Sewell ahead of him.
Man, I'll tell you this, Vic. The latest PFF mocks I've done, Sewell falls. I don't know why, but for some reason, they like Slater better. And I'm talking 6, 7, 8 out of 10 mocks. He's the guy it's him and Pitts.
I think what hurt Sewell. Well, no,
even Marcus's mock draft went that way. Sewell and Pitts on the board. That's tough. Hey,
Marcus has Slater as a guard.
Okay,
if I remember correct. I mean, he thinks he'll. I don't think he says he can't play tackle, but he thinks he'll be better at guard. I don't want to quote you on that, Marcus, but I think that's what you said. Which I agree. He reminds him of Zach Martin. He said that's kind of, which that's not a bad thing. And that's why I wouldn't mind having him. We put him in and let him take Connor's place. And I think you got a damn good 5 out there.
The best
Smith,
5, maybe,
Slater.
arguably.
I can't pronounce his name. I'm going to hammer that kid's name. Bidaz. Yeah, whatever. Martin and Collins.
That's nasty.
That'd be a solid 5.
You certainly have the
Dak,
most draft capital invested in that O-line.
Oh, we always have. That's great.
Even with Liel dropping as an unrestricted free agent because of that, case or whatever he was a part of, or just
I didn't misquote Marcus. He said I was right.
Okay.
I didn't want to misquote him.
He thinks he's a.
But I thought I heard him say that on a couple of his podcasts. And the other day when they was doing that mock draft, I thought I heard him say. I thought I heard Queen say something about him being like Martin, and then Marcus agreed with her. What's that?
Is it the feet or is it the arms? Because his arm length came in good,
I think
right?
it's his arms. I think that's what he said.
33 inches is what it came in, I believe. That's not short. It's got to be his feet.
I'll let Marcus answer that. He's the pro at it. He watches all that film. I don't.
Hey, roll out the red carpet because I don't know.
Next year we'll get back into it. I'll get back into it next year. After the wreck, after mine and Trey's wreck, I got out of it in 2016, and I never could find my way back into it. 2017, I thought I'd get back into it like I used to be, and I just never did.
It takes a lot of time.
Well, that's what I always tell people. I think 2 things happen. I think as much as I love being balls deep into the draft and watching all the film, doing the my own board of 100, 150, 200 players.
Yeah.
Once I didn't have to do that, I thought, damn, I kind of love doing this too. And, listening to guys like Marcus and Connor and Vaughn and JC and all them guys, let them do all the work and me just kind of help form my opinion through them.
Agree. Yeah.
And then Trey came and lived with me in 2017 too. And you know how I am with him. That took up my time working him out, putting him on his diet, watching his film during his high school. So It just kind of took up a lot of my time. And I just never got back into the draft. And then we started this so late, I'm trying to cram it all. But next year, I'll go balls deep back into it and do it like I did it from 2003 to 2015.
Corey wants to go back on Gallup. If you trade Gallup and get a second-round pick, who do you get? First, this takes us back to.
Well, that's my point. He has a good point. You need defense, and in my opinion, you keep Gallup. I know that's my point. It's like who are you going to get with that second-round pick?
Yeah.
Even if I don't know. I just rather run it back with Gallup.
Hey, there's some safeties. There's some cornerbacks that are top notch still in that second round. I think I've seen what's his name? Grant drops a lot to 44.
There's all kinds of possibilities if you trade for a second. But like I said, there's some people don't even think you can get a second for it.
Yeah, that's the point.
And now I think about it. If you think about it, the market is low. Nobody's wanting to really pay him, and they probably look at Gallup thinking, well, hell, why am I going to give you a second? I can get a guy on a rookie contract in the second round and I have to pay him for another 4 years, because whoever gets Gallup, they're going to have to pay him. Or lose him. They're going to trade for him, and then he's going to play 2021, and then they're going to have to pay him. So they might rather just say, hey, I'd rather use a second-round pick on a wide receiver coming up in a draft. So
if we
that's a complicated answer. Short answer is he hardly Here, let me go ahead and click on that instead of reading it out. That's complicated and shortness hardly ever sets into a kick side. Six slide. When he does get in trouble, he's dominant. That's fair. Good enough for me.
I'm gonna believe you.
I'll go with that.
You can get away with that in NFL against speed guys. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Marcus D. Jones has spoken. And we have listened. We have seen the light, Marcus.
Back on that Gallup thing one more time. So let's say we're another team from the outside looking to trade for Gallup. Would be saying, are we going to give up a guy for this guy we're fixing to have to pay, or are we going to go get one in the draft, a wide receiver? We wouldn't. So
I got to go with what I think. If we had no wide receiver at all on our team, maybe. I don't know, because I don't know how I don't know how I would view Gallup because I watch him every game.
Yeah.
So, but no, I don't think I would, because my thought would be, okay, you're going to give up a second, and you're going to have to pay this guy $13 and $15 million when we could probably get a rookie that could come in and spend a second on him. We're going to have him on a rookie contract for 4 years. So yeah, no, that's why when somebody brought up they didn't think they'd get a second for him, my first thought was like, oh, we'll get a second. But now I thought, you know what, they might be right. It might be hard to get a second for Gallup. And like I said, if you can't get a second for him, then don't trade him.
And before I brought that up, the second has to be 2021. Yeah. No 2022 future picks, none of that.
There's also the people who want to trade him for a player. And I say this, what player? I mean, you're going to have to name me the player, because most players I think that's going to come in and help this defense right now that you could trade him for a defense player, they're probably not going to get traded. I don't see their team trading them,
Yeah.
And I don't know how much that player, like I said, you'd have to tell me the player you want before I can actually answer that question.
Here's Marcus.
If it's for a fat defensive tackle like everybody wants, no, I'm not trading a wide receiver for a 2-down player for somebody who's going to be linebacker. Yeah, I'm not trading Gallup for a fat defensive tackle. That's
box safety,
a run stuffer. Yeah, not going to happen.
Anything that has to do with the run game.
Yeah, I ain't that bad, but yes. Because we do have to get better at stop and run. I just disagree that a fat defensive tackle is going to help as much as some people think. Yeah. He'll help, but if our linebacker play doesn't get better, it's not going to help as much as people think.
Marcus doesn't want to be made out to be the draft god. Just an opinion. I could be wrong. Hell yeah, dude. We could all be wrong. But you definitely put in the work, so we're going to give you notoriety for that.
Oh,
You're one of our guys.
No, yeah. I didn't. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mean it like that.
Vic
I just, like I said, I don't trust a lot of people. I don't have a lot of trust for a lot of people. I've got a small group of people I trust on film work and on draft stuff, and so that's the ones I listen to.
It's good to. I'll say it's good to go watch that tape on mute. Somebody else's rendition of that tape on mute before you watch it. With their insight, so that you have an opinion already, and then they can kind of conform, or y'all can agree or disagree on whatever. But don't go in there not knowing shit and then listen to some other guy talk about it, because then you're just gonna follow that.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like I said, I have a small group of guys. And now when they disagree, then I'm like, shit. When you got 3 guys that you trust and none of them agree on one thing, then I'm like, well, damn, I don't know who to go with.
That to me says
that's when you form your opinion.
Player. Yeah.
Yeah.
That to me is going to be like, well, fuck, either one of them. Pick any one of them.
Yeah.
Vic says, called him fringy for a tackle in terms of length, said that he has trouble dealing with power, and some teams could kick him to the inside. Probably right.
Who's that, Slater?
No, that's Vic saying that.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's talking about Slater?
He's talking about Slater.
Yeah. No, like I said, I mean,
with you.
Well, he would definitely kick to
with our team.
If we drafted him, he would definitely kick to the inside. He's not playing outside with us. Not for this year is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if we drafted him, he could end up just being our 10-year left guard, or when tiring them left, he might kick out if they think he can. I would say this. A lot of people didn't think Zach Martin could play tackle either. That's what a lot of them had. That fucker looked pretty good last year at right tackle.
If he played all
he didn't
year,
have a
he's
lot
a
of
Pro
snaps, but he did pretty good.
I mean, yeah, you extend that little short time he had out to a full season, I think you give him a Pro Bowl nod.
But yeah,
Definitely held it down.
But yeah, I'll go with Marcus. And Marcus ain't the only one who thinks that. There's multiple people who thinks that he's inside and not outside guy.
Okay, question from Vic and Marcus and you too, Charlie, if you want. Say we do draft Slater, and one of our tackles goes down. Are you bringing in Ty Nsekhe?
Yeah.
To replace one of those guys, or do you let Slater see what Slater can do?
No, because this is why I wouldn't. Because I think if Slater comes in, he's going to be the guard. I think he'll beat out Connor. So therefore, keep him there. Don't move him mid-season and throw him out there with no practice reps or 1 week of practice reps to play left tackle or right tackle. Just leave him there and have, you can pronounce his name for me, bring that guy in. That's what he's going to be. He is your swing tackle. That's what you
paid him for.
That's what you signed him for. Just let him do it.
And man, he has really gotten good. And you know what happened? He went to
Chaz Green wasn't good. Chaz Green wasn't good. But this is the thing about Chaz Green. He did fine in 2016. It was when they started moving him around. When they put him when in 2017, the offseason,
like
they moved him to
every other
guard.
player that they fuck around with like
he
that.
took all his snaps at guard, and then all of a sudden, in the Landon game, they're like, okay, you got to move to left tackle. And he got beat like a fucking drum. Again, I'm not saying he was good. I'm not saying he was anything special, but they didn't help him out any either.
Yeah, this Nsekhe guy, so his career was pretty shaky up until he got to Washington. And we all know why he got so much better at Washington. Old coach by the name of Bill Callahan. He actually gives a lot of credit to Bill in an interview I saw. But yeah,
when Bill left here, I told everybody in our group that was a big missing. Everybody's like, no big deal. We got the best offensive line in football. We got first round draft picks. We'll be fine.
As soon as he left, we just dropped and declined.
If y'all think that, one reason he's the best offensive line in football was because of him. Mm-hmm. And Philbin, I give Philbin a whole lot of credit for last year. I thought he did well. You know, as bad as our offensive line was, what he was dealing with, and by the end of the year,
towards the end,
when we kind of started, maybe last 2 games we looked like shit. But there was a set of games there towards the end of the year. Hell, he was on our fourth and fifth tackle.
Yeah.
We went back and forth between a backup center and a rookie center that was a backup and became a starter, went back to a backup. We had our all-pro right guard, had to move out to right tackle. Then he got hurt. Then we had our left tackle, lose him. We lost our right tackle before the season even started. Then we lost our swing tackle. Dude, it was a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
And after all that, I thought he did well. I was impressed. Out of all the coaches, the coaching positions, I thought he did better than anybody else did. I thought his position group played better pound for pound, so to speak, than any other position group did.
I'm with you.
With that said, they was pretty bad at times.
What else you got? You want to rant about something? How about running backs?
Oh, you want me to get on my running backs don't matter?
You've got.
We got what? We have Marcus in here and Victor and. Okay, I can say a lot of shit in here, and they already know me anyways.
Hey, they're going to be able to watch the video later. Other people are going to be able to watch later.
I'll save it for later.
You've got some analytic stuff in here loaded up.
Yeah, I'll save it for later. When the season starts, they're going to this is why I don't want to get into it now, because when the season starts, they're going to hear me talking about running backs. They're going to hear me talk about passing on first down, second down, passing on early downs.
Football.
Yeah, they're going to hear me say pass is greater than run. And they're just going to piss everybody off. And they're going to be like, oh, what do you want to do? Throw the ball 70 times a game? And I'm going to tell them, no dipshit. I never said that. All I'm saying is passing is more efficient than running the ball. That's all I'm saying. There's a place to run the ball. Just throw the damn ball most of the time. But, yeah. No, but we'll get into it. We'll get into the running backs don't matter. That's going to be so much fun, dude. I'm going to take so much heat for that.
Yeah, we were having a conversation in private. yesterday, or maybe even no, it was definitely yesterday, I think, about average carry or versus average pass. I forget what it was.
Oh no, we was talking about last year. Just simplistic version of it is the worst team in the NFL. No matter what the score is, no all downs 1 through 4. The worst team in the NFL threw for 6 yards per attempt. The worst team.
Yeah.
The best rushing team in the NFL ran for 5.5 yards per attempt. So the worst pass team, a team that if you watch them pass game, you're like, man, they fucking suck. They still averaged a half a yard more on attempt than the best rushing team did. That's a simplistic version of running backs don't matter. Don't take that for more than what it's worth. I'll get into it more some other point, and I'll explain it more. But that's a simplistic version. It's just not very efficient. It's not an efficient way to move the ball. You know,
yeah,
but there are downs. There are downs. There's distances, and there's parts of the field where the run is necessary, and you have to have a good running game. And let me repeat that: a good running game. Nowhere did I say anything about a running back. Just a good running game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a simplistic version. It's just, it's not the running back's fault. I mean, hell, they get the ball 3 yards deep in the backfield. Before they can even gain a yard, they got to gain 3 yards before they even get a positive thing. Hell, a receiver catches a little 2 or 3 yard dump off, they've already gained 2 or 3 yards.
Right.
It's just how it works.
I don't have it loaded on my computer, but that Nick Saban.
I'll get more of the Nick talking about.
Man.
Yeah. That was pretty surprising hearing it from him.
People, they're going to be, this is not college football, but I mean, yes.
No, that's what I said in the group when I said, don't give me that shit. Because what he said, when he talked about the RPOs, that's in the NFL. No huddle offense, that's in the NFL.
Spread,
new rules, that's in the NFL. Everything, that's the reason the NFL had to do this. This started in high school. High school started all this new offense shit. Well, when college recruited them, they had to change it to fit their players. They had like, okay, well, he can do this new offense, let's run it. When the NFL started having to draft players that ran RPOs and ran spread offenses, trying to plug them into an old 1980 style offense, underneath center, 3-step drops, 5-step drops, and they wasn't very good at it. So they had to start changing their shit and start, adapting to what they was drafting, The only players they have to draft is college players. So when most of the college teams run a bunch of spread offenses, a bunch of RPOs, well, when you draft them, you got to put that in your offense. If you want the player to be the best he can be, you got to establish that. But yeah, no, when Nick Saban, I was surprised when I saw that tweet. I was like, wow, old man Nick talking about you can't win football games by establishing run anymore. I was like, that is so awesome. That is so awesome to hear that. That was just so great.
Because we had a conversation earlier before we even heard the video, right? The video came out a couple of days ago, but man, I could have sworn you could have quoted you verbatim and it would have matched that video. Not even a month ago, just by saying, I used to be a guy that was time of possession, control the line of scrimmage. I mean, all those things that he said, I've heard you say multiple times.
That's the best part about the video when he said, I used to think, that this is how you win games. And I was like, that's when people who get on my ass about analytics, I try to tell them, hey, I don't get mad at if you don't want to buy into, because I was you. I was you for 7 years. I hated analytics. Every time I got into an argument with the analytic guy, I said all the rude shit that people say to him, you fucking nerds. Football ain't played behind a computer screen. You probably never played a football down in your life. I'd said all kinds of rude shit to him and bad shit to him. And it took me 7 years. It took me 4 years to even give it a chance. I'll tell you this. It took a drunk driver hit me and my son and put me in a hospital bed for 6 months that I wasn't even allowed to stand up. Fuck walking. I couldn't even stand up for 6 months. It took me that much. It took all that for me to say, all right, I got some time to study up and research. It's like, let me study up on and research this. Because my thought was, why am I losing? And I don't like to lose arguments. Why am I losing every significant argument I get into with these analytic guys? And if I don't lose, I don't win. It's just like, And I'm like, I got to research this shit. So I started studying up, and it still took me another 2.5 years before I'm like, okay, I buy into this shit. I get it. Like I said, 2016, around January that year, is when I started reading up on it. And in 2016, I made a post in the Star to you when you saying we need to run pass the ball more. I told you, no, we don't. We need to run the ball more. That's how you win football games. So in 2016, even though I was reading up on analytics, I still wasn't bought into them because I still thought run the ball, Zeke. That's how you win. You establish that fucking run. That's how you win ball games. And it wasn't until probably 2018 that I'm like started thinking, okay, I'm really looking like an idiot here. And by 2019, I'm like, fuck it, I'm full 100%. I'm into it. I buy into it. But yeah, it took me years. It took me Chris Collinsworth. Hell, it took him buying a fucking analytic company, go impart ownership in it for him to buy into it. The play action, running the ball a lot, running the ball good. You know, that's how you make play action work. And it's been shown, that has nothing to do with it.
Regardless.
On NFL Network, they was doing NFL Network. Damn, I'm having a hard time talking today. They was talking about they was asking him about it. He said that an old timer like him, he said it took him forever to buy into. You know, he said he was always taught run the ball a lot, run the ball well. Even if you ain't running it well, just run it all the time, and it helps play action. He said it was hard for him to to say that that's just not true. You know, and I mean, like I said, it took him owning a PFF and having all this fucking information just shoved in his face and make him think, holy shit, this is I've been thinking for 40 years and I'm not right. And it's hard. It's hard to admit when you're wrong. Like I said, you've been taught. I was taught by my dad, who I love and respect, my stepdad at the time, who I love and respect, all my football coaches, PB through high school. That's how they taught you football. So when all them people you care about teaches you that way, well, yeah, it gets engraved in your head. So no, you don't want to believe anything else.
Right.
I'm like, why did my dad lie to me? That's not what my dad told me. Why did my coaches said that? They know more about football than you do.
And back then it was the case.
And back then there wasn't really a lot of information saying they was wrong, Yeah. But I even actually bought into the running backs don't matter, some of it, before I even bought into it. Like drafting a running back in the first round, second round, I was always against. I've been that way for even when I was calling NLN guys dickheads and assholes. Even when I was doing that, I still bought into you don't draft a running back in the first round.
Hey, I was accidentally right. Those few years ago when you were going through that and saying all those things, I was accidentally right in that anybody could run behind that line.
Yeah. I mean, and when I say when you say anybody, people's like, not anybody. Well, yeah, my fat ass, no.
We're not doing it.
What I'm talking about is a quality a top 15 running back. Just put them back there. I think PFF, there's a video, I'll post it one day. They was talking about how kind of what running backs don't matter, what that kind of means. And what it means is when you start talking about the money, like a running back making $2 million compared to one that's making $15 million, well, that running back making $20 million can do 85 to 90% of what that $15 million is. And when you take that in consideration,
$2 million.
Yeah, $2 million. What did I say? 10?
20.
Oh, 20. But yeah, $2 million. So if he's making $2 million and he can do 85 to 90% of what the 15 million guys doing,
as efficiently.
So why would I want to do that? That's all it's saying. I'll post a video one day. They explain it better than I do. I can't remember if it's 85%, 90%, or 85 to 90. But
stop giving running backs premium contracts.
Yeah, no, you don't draft in the first 2 rounds, especially the first, and you don't pay them big bucks. You don't. I mean,
I don't think we're anti-give players money, right? We want players to get paid. Just there's a few positions we don't want them highly paid on.
No, it's not the players. Yeah, it's the position. It's off the ball linebacker. It's big fat defensive tackle, nose tackle, a running back. You don't pay them big money and you don't draft them high.
Yeah. I'm with you. We're past the hour mark. We've probably lost all of our lunchtime folks. You want to wrap it up?
Hold on. I want to put this up because I don't see this very often.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Man, I'm going to end right now.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's a good note to end it on. I agree with Charlie. Good man, Vic. If you do that more often, you'll be a smarter man.
Let's take that down for a second. Follow us on the page, Facebook, Dallas Cowboys Uncensored. You see our Twitter handles. Those are our personal handles. Dallas Cowboys Uncensored on YouTube. What is it?
At Dallas Cowboys U1.
At Dallas Cowboys U1 on Twitter for the show page or the show handle. Like, subscribe. Hit us in the comments. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us what we need to change. What sucks about us. Help us out.
That might get long.
Hey, come on. Hey, we'll take it. We'll take all the smoke. We won't give it back though. Anyways, appreciate y'all.
Thanks for coming in for our first live show.
Appreciate you guys.